Good morning. Good morning, guys. We're going to be doing a kind of a flip book on our lesson today. So what I want you to do is I'm going to give you a blank sheet of paper. Miss Alonzo's going to give you a blank sheet. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this sheet and we're going to fold it, as you can see, hot dog style. And what this flip book is going to be, it's actually going to be your notes for the week, for the entire week. And then when we take our quiz on Friday, we'll have a quiz on Friday. You're going to get to use this. You're going to get to use your flip book, not somebody else's. It has to be yours. So it's super important that you have a good flip book to use, okay? So then as you're going through this, I want you to make a really good line here, because what we're going to eventually do is we're going to rip this. So now be careful. Some of you guys, I ask you to do this and you treat it like you're a third grader and you don't know what you're doing. Just try to stay calm. And when you want to rip this, you're going to start the rip. Let me zoom in here. You're going to start it small. All right. You see what I did there? I started it small. I have a little rip there. And then now as I go, I can slowly rip this paper into two even sheets without passing scissors. Out to anybody. Nobody needs to be cutting with scissors. We are using just the fold method. All right. Now that you have these two sheets of paper here, all right, two sides of paper. This is where it gets a little tricky, and you're also going to need to have a stapler involved. I'm giving Miss Alonzo some supplies too. She's going to have a stapler at a couple different tables. You're going to need this. So what you're going to do is, let me see if I can zoom it out just a little bit more. All right, here we go. As you take this paper, I want you to put the top paper on top, this one on top. I want you to put it right here, but give yourself like an inch margin. Give yourself like an inch, okay? And then put that down. All right, that's all you've done. So let me repeat that method again. All you've done is given yourself like an inch here and leave it there. So now if you were to flip this page up, you would have this inch here and room. And then now what you can do is you can take both papers from the top, fold it down to right here. All right, let me repeat that again. Watch what I'm doing. Folding it down to right about there. And then I'm going to fold it. And then what you're going to need is just two staples. One here, one here. And that's all you need. All right. Now you have your flip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now let's go ahead and start filling this out. On the first page, the top page, I would love for you to write exponent rules. All right. Exponent rules. And what I'm going to do is this first page is just like the title page, but I'm going to put a couple different things on here to make you think a little bit. What if I said if I said 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, you're writing this down, guys. The way you can write this with exponents is you can have the 2 here, and there's 5 of them. All right? And as I write this 2 and 5, I want you to, this part here is called the base. This part here is called the exponent. The base and the exponent. The base, the bottom, the base holds the exponent up. So the base is 2. The exponent, or the power, is 5. So this is 2 to the 5th power. Okay? Very cool. 2 to the 5th power. All right? I know we went kind of fast getting all this in here, but this is going to be your flip book. If you could, on the very back, maybe, just put your name on it. So if you lose it, and we may do some extra problems on the back too later on, okay? But your name here, we could do maybe an extra ticket on the back or something. And we'll give you credit this week too for this. I want to give you some points for giving me a good flip book, a good note flip book, okay? All right, now Down here, we're going to do a couple different rules here. Are you ready? For this one, we're going to put, let me actually put the whole thing here. I'm thinking out loud here. So when you flip this up, you're going to see what's going on. Actually, I'm just going to put multiplying same bases. And you're going to get what I mean in just a second. Multiplying same bases. And on that note, I'm also going to put dividing same bases. Okay? And then we're not going to get to this one today. Okay? So we're going to do this one in class and this one in class. And you're going to start to see, you're going to be like, okay, this isn't too tough. I can handle this for the most part. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And I'm going to put the actual verbiage, the words on the top. And I used a marker I probably shouldn't have used. You guys, you can use your pens or your pencils. But up here, I'm going to put what we're actually doing here. And I'm going to show you the problem. So here's the problem I'm going to give you. 2 to the 5th times 2 to the 3rd times 2 to the 4th. And that's a problem we're going to have. And you're going to have this in high school too. So I want to make sure you get this concept very well. All right, 2 to the 5th times 2 to the 3rd times 2 to the 4th. Here's the actual wordage that I want you guys to write down for this lesson. Let me make sure I have a decent pen here. Here we go. When multiplying, write this down, when multiplying the same bases, you must add the exponents, okay? And let's just go real quick again. I know I'm going all over the place. She can hit pause here so you can write that down. But here, when multiplying the same bases, is this our base, right? 2 is the base, 5 is the exponent. 2 is the base, 5 is the exponent. When multiplying the same bases, you must add the exponents. Same bases, all right? The base here is 2, 2, 2. Are they all the same base? Yes. So what do? You must add the exponents. And let me give you a final answer here. You're going to get it real quick. The final answer is going to be 2 to the 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. 2 to the 12th. And that's your final answer, 2 to the 12th. When multiplying the same bases, you must add the exponents. Simple as that. All right. It will get more challenging as we do higher level problems, but today we're keeping it simple. Let's do another one. Let's do another couple practice ones here. Let me see the ones I have. Oh, so I'm going to give you sometimes problems that maybe aren't easy to look at. Now, this is high school algebra right here. Now, forget about the 2 was the base here. So what's the base here? You can tell that base here is going to be x. So when multiplying the same bases, those are all the same, you're going to add the exponents. So now your answer is going to be 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11. So your final answer is, let's keep this all the same here, x to the 11th. All right, a little tricky, it's okay. Now, let's keep it going. What about something that is a little trickier? Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to do x to the 5th times y to the 3rd times x to the 2nd times y to the 4th. All right, same concept, but same bases. Take a second, look at it. As you can see, those are same bases. These are the only ones you can add together. So part of your answer is going to look like this. X to the 7th. Do you see that? All right, so that's great. Then what about here? Y to the 3rd, y to the 4th. These are same bases as well. Y to the 7th. Didn't realize I put them both as 7s, but that's fine. And there's your final answer. You can leave it just like this. All right, let me give you one more. Okay. Last one I'm going to give you. Why don't you guys try this one on your own? When I look at this, I'm going to go 2 to the 7th times, and you can do the times, you don't have to, 3 to the 9th. And there's your final answer. All right. So what are you doing? We added our 2's. All right. And then we added our 3's as well. 3 to the 9. Okay. Keep this with you. Keep this with you. We're going to go through a Desmos in a little bit, and you're going to use this while you go through that. All right. Now, this was a big concept, but I think you can get there. I don't think it's too crazy. Can we do this one here too as well? So we've done multiplying same bases. Let's go ahead and get into dividing same bases. All right. Now, this one has a similar rule, and I'm going to write it up here. When dividing same bases, okay? Remember before here, what was it? It was when multiplying the same bases. Now we're doing when dividing the same bases, you must, here it was add the exponents. Here it's going to be subtract the exponents, okay? And I'm going to underline subtract. Stay with me, guys. You got this. Okay? So now, when we look at these kinds of problems, let me show you what's going on. You're going to get the hang of it pretty quick as well. There's only one little curveball. There's only one little idea that could get you, but we're going to cover it right now. So 2 to the 10th divided by 2 to the 6th. Okay? And as I look at this, the way I talk about it, I get kind of crazy, and I like to show visuals of what's going on. And I'm going to say there's 10 soldiers. There's these 2's, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Didn't mean to put it so many exponents, but it's okay. Over, how many are to the 6? Or to 2's are going to be 6 of them, right? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. All right. So there's 6 on the bottom. There's 10 on the top. We just talked about subtracting the exponents. So you have the idea of subtracting exponents. 10 and 6 is going to be 4. You have that idea. Okay, now let's move on from that idea. Let's think about this. So when we look at this, I think of this as a battle. All right, they're battling. All right, and I'm going to put that up there to do. Think battle, or there's a fight. There's 10 soldiers on the top. There's 6 on the bottom. Who's going to win, the top or the bottom? And hopefully you've thought the top's going to win. The top is going to win, okay? And you could bring this up and you could subtract it, and you'll get 2 to the 4th. And you subtract it and it stays on the top, all right? Let's do another one. Let's do x8 over x2. All right, give you 15 seconds. Well, who's going to win the battle, the top or the bottom? The top's going to win. By how much? You can subtract this 2 from the 8. Subtracting. All right, you're subtracting. All right, what about something like this? X 5, Y 3 over X2, Y. Ooh, and I'm going to leave this Y alone. Here's something really, really interesting. When there's nothing there, that Y, there's an invisible. We've talked about invisible ones before. There's an invisible 1 there. And if you feel like you want to put the 1 there, go for it. You can do that. That's not a big deal. All right. Then think about this. The X's, you're going to subtract 5 minus 2, 3. And then 3 minus 1, 2. Now, I did say there's a curveball. And I'm going to show you the curveball now, okay? I really want you to think about the top army versus the bottom army. The top army won here. They took 2 of these out. That's why there's 6 here. The top army won here. There were 6 in the bottom, but then they took away 6 of the 10, so that's why there's 4 left, okay? What happens if the bottom army wins? The bottom of the fraction, the denominator wins. So let's do one like that. So if I did 2 to the 4th over 2 to the 6th. Now you see there's 6 of them on the bottom. You know 6 gonna win. The 4 can come down and subtract, right? So if you brought this down and subtracted the 4, you could do that. The bottom's gonna win by how much? 2 to the 2nd power on the bottom. Is that my final answer? And you're gonna learn in my class that you're gonna have something holding this fraction together. You can't just have all of your junk on the denominator. There has to be something on the numerator. And if there's nothing there, simple 1 will work to hold the fraction together. We'll do one more like that, don't worry. All right, what about this one? Very similar. Same idea. What's going to win, the bottom or the top? The bottom's going to win. You can bring it down and subtract it. You can see that 4 are going to end up on the bottom. 4. But what ends up holding it together? A 1. And this concept we're going to go over a lot tomorrow as well. It's not that easy. We're going to cover it. Don't worry. Don't stress. We'll be fine. Okay? We'll be good with this. We'll do a lot of practice. But I want you to keep this with you while we do our Desmos right now. All right? We're going to jump into a Desmos slide deck. I want you guys working with me. I'm going to give you a different video to watch.